What's up, Corey? Back for another game day, man. How you doing?
Good morning on the West Coast. Nice and early
West
for
Coast.
this Pac-12 matchup. We're not used to this
Did you
out
already?
here.
Yeah, how about that? Did you already get a lift in?
Absolutely not. I slept in. I
There you
slept
go.
in when
What?
I went to a game last night. Went and saw. Oh, who do I see? I saw Dylan Williams, Oregon commit, and Ryan Pelham, USC commit. Overtime game,
How,
great game out in Long Beach.
how did Pelham do?
Pelham looked great. I mean, he's the guy at that school, so he is used all
Yeah.
over the place. A little bit like a Travis Hunter, which is really fun to see. And I've known him now for many years, so it's a great relationship with him. And he's a very dynamic, fun player. I don't know what side of the ball like he's truly going to play at SC. My guess would be like receiver, but he does play
That's
pretty
what
good
I
safety.
think.
He comes in hard, but he looks more natural to be a receiver.
Yeah, no. Last time I saw him was he came to the Under Armour Columbus, Ohio camp, I believe.
That's right. Yeah, like
All
2
right, so
years ago, right?
yeah. Where's your feet at? All right, I'm at the very beginning.
I am. Hey, I got to move my screen.
All right,
I
the
think I'm
analyst
good.
just popped on. All
Oh,
right,
I'm way
so
ahead.
all right, so let's start off with this, Corey. You guys you pick this on the mush, your betting podcast this week. Who was your pick and why?
So let me look at. It looks like all three of us, myself, Gorney, and John Garcia Jr., all picked USC. Look, I think Colorado's a different team without Travis Hunter. They're a great team. They're explosive. They're very fun to watch. It's obviously a team that, like me on the social media side, we root for, and they do very well for us. Same with SC and all the talent that they have. But I don't think it's enough to really cover the spread. I believe it was about 20 and a half.
22.
22,
Well, it's up to
yeah.
22 now, so it's getting bet up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think SC's got enough on the offense to keep going. Obviously, Colorado at home is going to be a tough place for SC to come in. I think it might be a little bit of a slow start we see here, but SC will have no problem covering in the long run. I don't think Colorado right now has the depth, and I think they're obviously a little lost without like their key figure. Even though he had that great speech to primetime saying, "I'm coming in. I don't care what you say." What a dog move that was out of Travis Hunter. But good for Dion for being like
Yeah,
more than just this game. But
yeah.
you know, all of us inner competitors
Well,
are like, I don't care. Put me on that
so
field.
yeah, no kidding. And Travis is built different. Like I was talking to Sean Lewis after the very first game. I was like, I think they were on the plane, so he didn't have the exact like snap count and everything.
Right.
But I was asking him, I was like, dude, how many plays did he play? I was like, that's unbelievable. I was like, how can he do that? And he was just telling me, he's like, Travis can literally go all day. He's like the guy's just an absolute machine, absolute beast. Got banged up, and that's unfortunate. But if you're playing that many plays on both sides of the ball, you're eventually going to do this. Now, the thing that I really like here, all right, and Sean's a good friend of mine, and so maybe there's some bias here, but I look at this with a non-biased eye. There isn't another, I don't want to say another. Actually, I would say that Lincoln Riley and Sean Lewis are probably the two best play callers in all of college football. They can manufacture plays when they aren't there. You got to understand this. Colorado came out hot. They come in with this whole roster overhaul. People were shocked by the way they put up points, the way they were able to move the ball. But you got to understand, they don't have the depth. They don't have the line that the USC and the teams they're playing. They just don't have it right now. They have players at key positions. Okay, so obviously Shedeur, he's a difference maker. Dylan Edwards, true freshman, difference maker. And then when the run game doesn't go well for Colorado, Sean is so good at manufacturing plays. So what he'll do is he'll find ways. So if your running game's not going well, he's going to find a way to get Dylan Edwards in space, whether it's the backfield, but just get him the ball to a place where he can take it and run with it, make people miss, and really use his speed to score points. I don't know if, especially with Shiloh Sanders out today, I mean, it's going to be a rough one, for the Colorado secondary. They're one of the worst defenses in college football right now. Personnel wise, they don't have a lot to work with. And then, to be honest, when you're working with one of these fast offenses, it can be hard on the defense. You can get a lot of 3 and outs. You can get a lot of quick scores, and so you end up with a lot of time on the field. But I do think, gosh, look at all the people here: CC Sabathia, Simba, Terrell Owens,
the baby.
And
is
the baby there? Dude, Lil Wayne was there.
I might be a little bit behind you now, but yeah, the baby's there. I think the baby talked to the team. I saw on social media. I saw
what
our boy.
Who would you rather have speaking to your team pregame? The baby.
Out of all the celebrities there, like that
I
we saw
Lil Wayne. If he could put it all together.
I was gonna say selfishly, I would say Lil Wayne, or maybe one of like the former athletes that like I grew up watching. But I think it was actually kind of a good move to bring like the baby in. I think he's kind of have to gone through some stuff like in the social, like the public eyes, but he's a guy that's a little bit younger and the kids can relate to a little bit more. So probably his speech meant more to them than anyone else. But going back to the Bush really quick, one of the things, as a Joe take, as I always do every week, if anyone's a loyal listener to the podcast, is my rule was I only bet Colorado at home, and I had to go against my own rule. But I just feel like prime time, everyone's gonna be wearing those Blender sponsored sunglasses, and just it's gonna be rocking. And
it's gonna be wild there.
It looks
so. USC, the number one thing they need to do on this drive is just try to take the wind out of the crowd. If they can take the crowd out of the game early, take the air out of the atmosphere, that can go a long way. All right, so I got Caleb walking out right now. Where are you at on your feed?
So I'm just
I'm looking at your mic now.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
First play's about to go.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
It'll be
he's in the gun.
To see how this secondary holds up. Obviously, this is a well-oiled machine. Lincoln, he is obsessed with his offense. Zachariah Branch is all right. Okay. Who is number 16?
That's Taj Washington. Great story to me. He came from, I believe, Memphis, right before like Lincoln or right when Lincoln got there, and he was like kind of the guy. And then when Lincoln showed up and brought more of the receivers, he got a little pushed out for a little bit, and then he stayed there, and he's made his way back in and been like a really nice target for Caleb Williams like throughout the season. There we go again.
No, Lincoln brought in his own Louis.
Pretty much. Hey, but if you got PPR in college football, Taj Washington's the play right now. 2 catches for 20 yards. You already got 4 points before we even get the game going.
Not a bad start. The thing I like from Colorado's defense this week is, they had some issues tackling last week, and they're swarming to the ball. They're keeping things in front of them. Good low.
I love this USC running back. I can't remember his first. I think it's Lloyd. He used to be like a former 5-star for us from South Carolina. He is so fast. I didn't realize how fast he was and explosive. If he can get open, watch. He's very good. And he's also, I think he's coming off like an ACL tear as well.
Do we have track times on him, Corey?
Oh man, I hate track time. That's like the one thing I hate. Whenever we do rankings calls, I hear the track time. I'm like, I'm out.
Nah, I love the track stuff. In the Midwest, anything under 11 is fast in the Midwest. All right, 3rd and 9. Let's see what they scheme up here. Yeah, found a hole, sat in it. So what Colorado did there is they call it copping. They brought a bunch of guys up to the line, make you guess if they're coming. So, and then the offensive line has to base their protection off of what they see, what can come at them. So each offensive lineman, they have a kind of a triangle that they're reading of potential threats who can come. Good Lord. I mean, when you talk about manufacturing plays right there, you see the way that defense is going down on the zone read. So that actually is, he could give that, he could keep that, and he can throw that. It just puts the defense at such an advantage. What did I tell you, Clint? What did I tell you? Wow, that didn't take long. Marshawn Lloyd kicking the game off. So Colorado over pursued there. They did not keep contained. Lloyd did a great job of reversing field. That backside guy, when it comes to a film session, when they watch this replay, you know, obviously you want to pursue the ball, but that linebacker who just turned and ran and then got knocked, oh my gosh. So number 44 should have been slowly shuffling and keeping everything until it was declared where he could turn and run. Instead of what he did is he turned and ran early. There was nobody for backside contain. He was able to take the ball and take it to the house. So, like I said, USC had to come out and take the air out, and you know they did. If they can quiet this crowd early, that's going to make a big difference. So let me shoot out a text and see if we can. This might be a good time to get one of our guests on. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely during these commercial breaks or in between the first and second. Absolutely.
All right.
So
all right. Should we surprise them or let's see?
Yeah, let's.
Let me give him a call. Let's see. Hopefully their service is good there.
It's gonna be a great audio session. That's for sure. The crowd's gonna be bumping. Hopefully he's on the field or something. That'd be cool.
No, they were on the field pregame. So I talked to a couple of them. They were getting. Yo, hey, you want to hop on now? Okay, I'm gonna send you a link, just like when we do our the StreamYard interview. So I'm gonna send you a link, and then we'll have you hop on, and we'll just talk about what you did pregame, talk about the field, talk about the celebrities, and anything else fun. All right, bud? All right, man. Yeah, man. I'm just gonna send the link to your phone. All right. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Hey, if the signal's bad, the signal's bad. All right. I'll send it over in a second. All right. We'll talk soon, man. All right. Bye. All right, we're gonna have our first special guest. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna send him the link right now. This is a guy committed elsewhere right now, and we're seeing a lot of that at Colorado. They're going after some guys committed elsewhere, and kids are listening. It looks like, and now this is an interesting situation because, oh wait. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, I gotta email myself the link. This person is committed to a school whose head coach is already gone. If we want to play a little trivia, he plays receiver. And do you know who it is, Corey?
I believe it's a Michigan State commit.
It is a Michigan State commit, and he's like, hopefully the signal's good enough. But we're about to find out. So I'm gonna send him the link. We'll have him on. He's going to talk about, when I talked to him earlier, when we were texting earlier, they were doing their pregame meal, and then they were about to go on the field. Another kid that I texted with said they were on the field, that it was wild seeing all these people there. Obviously, you know, the environment at the stadium sticks out for itself, but you know, just the sheer number of celebrities and star power that
I'll be kind of curious what goes on behind the scenes, because like they're going to bring out everything for these recruits and make them feel like welcome and experienced and all that. So it'll be kind of fun to see. I mean, all these visits are fun for these athletes, but prime time is doing something different.
Yeah, gosh, I really hope. Right now? Yeah,
in the end zone. Okay, perfect.
Through the end zone. We'll see. I just sent the link. It has not said delivered yet, but hey, it was promising that he answered the phone. So once this link is delivered, we're going to have him on. All right. So this first series, you got to Shador come out, give him some early confidence. It doesn't help to have your top guys out. It doesn't help to have an offensive line that has struggled to protect. But Sean's going to find a way to move the pocket, to keep him safe. I would say we're going to get something quick hitting play to start. I don't think they'll take a shot or anything. Could be wrong. But Sean's deal is he wants to run as many plays as possible. I don't know what they call it in Colorado, but he was flash fast. They're going empty right away. Let's see. Yep. Quick hitter, quick completion, get some confidence early. And they're going to be right up at the line. He's going to want to, he doesn't want. Yeah. And so what this does is, as long as Colorado doesn't sub, the defense for USC can't sub. So if they get them in a favorable look, if they get a personnel that they like on defense, they might go and not sub. Right. Now here's the other side of that offense. They've already run how many plays in 30 seconds, and if they don't get a first down here, then the defense is right back on the field. and you get the ball back in Caleb Williams' hands. So that's when a game can get out of hand quick. Now, the other thing that you can do with this offense and what they're doing here is they get lined up real quick. Okay, we got a free hitter. Ooh, perfect play call. Why did he not go outside? So that's exactly what they wanted. Now, they would have liked to be a field side blitz, but anytime you get a blitz and you have a cold screen, you got a chance. That running back's just got to make somebody miss in space. So what happens is, okay.
I was expecting Dylan Edwards there. I don't know why. I mean, this guy here is good. I've seen him in past games, but Dylan's so fast. It's like any sort of screen calls or whatever, you would think Dylan Edwards would be the play.
Yeah, well, they schemed it up pretty well. So what they did is they did a boundary side blitz. They brought the guy off the edge, and then what happened is that outside defender, who would usually be the edge defender against a run play, he dropped into what they call skiff, seam curl flat coverage, and really with his eyes back on the quarterback, and he was able to he was already back in coverage, and he was just able to pursue and come down, and really the best chance for the running back would have been to hit that outside. So let's see if this link to Nick went through yet. Doesn't say delivered. Maybe it man, too much. That's the hard part with signal at games. It'll go through eventually, and we'll have them on.
Yeah, and honestly, it might be better even for the signal as well, or at least we could hear him audio-wise if it's between the first and second. You know what I mean? Like we get that 10 minutes of like the commercials and all that. So I mean, maybe that's
when this link goes through.
Yeah.
I'm going to say whenever it comes through. It's through. Come on. All right. What are your thoughts from the first couple series, man?
I mean, that was about as scripted as it could possibly be. I mean, SC kind of scoring a little bit more more at will than I thought. I mean, I like that Lloyd guy, like I said in a little pregame talk, but I don't know if that's going to be what's going to be this game. It might be 40. It might move to the in-game spread, but Colorado's going to stay in it. They're not going to make the fans sit through a giant blowout. But like you said, if that offense is very fast, and when they get rolling, like they'll tire out that defense and they'll start putting up some points. But if they can't get at least past the first couple downs, then their defense is just going to keep getting gassed, and SC will just keep scoring and scoring.
Yeah, well, they'll go with pace. They're going to keep on trying to run as many plays as possible. They're going to use, and this is something that I have talked about with Sean, is the altitude. For teams that come in there and his style of offense, there is no better fit because they will get gassed. And if they don't allow them to sub, these guys are used to the altitude. You can't replicate that unless you at Air Force or Utah State or New Mexico. Those are your high elevation places that have college football teams. And it is just really hard. You start breathing hard. I mean, there's certain things you can do like oxygen and stuff on the sidelines, but it's a tough deal. So that's something to watch. If they can just get a drive going, just get they don't have to be chunk plays. Yeah, you want to take the top off every now and then, but if they can just get multiple plays in a row, get that defense gassed a little bit, that's where they're going to do their damage. So, this is a big series for Colorado's defense. They're down in the secondary. Shiloh out. They've already struggled in the secondary. I did like the way they tackled it first. Their pursuit is almost too much because they're over pursuing, and that's what led to that first touchdown. So let's see how this one kicks off. Are we coming with a fire zone again?
Like
no. Yeah. So I think they're going to come with the fire zone. It'll be interesting to see if they check out of it. And
wow. I mean, Colorado can't be playing this guy. This is going to be another quick drive. I mean, I don't know why they're playing like that soft zone. I mean,
is there a reason for that? Or? Man there. They were in man there.
Man?
They were, yeah. But they're playing
Joe Ides right there.
Here's the thing: when you're scheming against, it looked like they were man. I didn't catch it till the very end. But when you're scheming up these, oh good Lord. Wow, you don't see that often.
Yeah.
When you're scheming up as a defense, so like you have idea, you're like, okay, I can exploit this protection. I can do this. There's certain advantages that I can give myself. The problem is the ball comes out so fast, and Caleb is so smart that if he sees something he doesn't like, or if he identifies something that he knows, he's going to change the play at the line. Lincoln has given him, if he changes into the wrong play, he's going to get ripped. But, he's kind of Lincoln's guy on the field. Okay. So that was more of the drop back game. And that's what Colorado's going to have to do. Caleb, that was a design play where it was going to take a little more time. And if Colorado's going to pressure, they're going to have to choose those situations to pressure like that. Because if the ball's coming out fast and you're pressuring, there's nothing you're doing. You're just losing guys in coverage. But also if you sit back in coverage, he's going to pick you apart. And those are kind of the things that, this offense and a quarterback like Caleb Williams give you. So let's see what they do here.
That's snap. I think he got on it.
Oh! So there you go. These are the type of things that, on the road, that crowd is loud. I don't think Caleb was ready for the snap. They're probably going on clap counts. So he'll do whatever his clap is. Then the center will look down, give it a pause, and then go. The receivers, they're just looking at the ball on when to go. Yeah, no.
Oh, that was just a snap.
Yeah, no, it was a snap.
Glenn, I got a question for you. So for you as a coach, when you were on staff, and you kind of already answered the question with the defense. So in offense, they obviously have a script. They run this, they have 10 plays ready to go. They want to see what the offense looks like. They want to see what the defense looks like. On the defensive side, do they have a script of some sort? Like how I said, oh, that's a really soft zone. Is that designed just so the defensive coaches and the defensive coordinator could see what the offense looks like, and then they make the adjustments? Or how long until the defensive coordinator makes adjustments to what the game plan of what they prep for all week? Does that make sense?
So, yeah, no, it does. When you're prepping all week, you can't really script it on defense because, there's games where you'll prep, and you prep for everything, not even what they've necessarily already put on film. You're going to prep for different things. But you'll have your base coverages that you're going to run throughout the game. You'll have your base pressure packages that you're going to run throughout the game. And then based off of their offensive set, for here, for instance, they go empty. USC is going to have an empty check. They're going to have an empty check ready for the game, and then they'll adjust accordingly. But you don't make adjustments right away as a defense unless there's a glaring deficiency in your scheme. But there should never be, if you're playing base coverages or you're doing certain, blitz packages that are just, they're going to be part of the game plan every week. Now, the problem Colorado has here, and let me go back to your question from the offensive perspective. A lot of people, you're scripting to score on that first drive, but you're also, and more importantly, you're scripting to find out how they're going to line up to things throughout the game. That was a great tackle right there.
I actually was more impressed by the slot guy, the little guy he had a great block.
Great block.
I love a receiver block. Oh man, just throw.
So, but no. Oh, geez, see, there you go. That's a free
I hope
play.
You go farther, 25 yards.
Good Lord. Well, that's 3rd and 5. So that's a critical error on the defense. That's how on the road, especially, you cannot make those. You cannot make those mistakes. So that's a first down. How about that stat line? Shedeur Sanders, 4 of 4 for 1 yard passing.
Someone just won a lot of money.
That's a new record. 4 completions under 5 yards.
There's some money somewhere. I don't think there is player lines really for college, but that would be a great prop bet, though.
Do they do props for college?
I don't think so in college. Right.
So bunch formation here. Sean wants to see how they're going to line up to that. So there's multiple ways you can play bunch. The thing that it does is it forces you to either pass guys off, or you got to press that head man and play inside out with the inside defender and outside defender.
When you said that Sean's looking at what they're doing, so if he calls that play, this right here, that play is designed obviously for number 10, and he's probably thinking whatever, let's see what they look like. Is it in his mind? Does he already have almost 1 to 5 plays ready to go, and whatever that defense looks like on that play, boom, he's got the next one ready? Because this offense is so
usually
fast.
Have 12.
So each play he's already.
Most guys are going to script 12. So you're gonna adjust it to situation, but you've got these 12 plays, right? These 12 formations, or maybe 12 motions, or whatever it is. You've got the 12 main principles that you want to see how they're going to line up against. So, on what you've seen from Colorado so far, you've seen a screen. Okay, how do they play that? You've seen a bunch formation. How are they going to line up to that? You've seen a zone read. There's multiple ways to play the zone read. Sometimes the defensive end is the dive player, meaning the one who's responsible for the running back if the ball gets handed off. Sometimes that guy is a contained player, and then they're responsible for the quarterback, and then the linebacker has to scrape over, and he's the running back player. So they've gone empty. They want to see if USC has an empty check. One of my favorite things when we went empty, I can't remember what we call it. I think we called it Denver, actually, because we got it from the Broncos. We would go everybody Omaha. But I mean, look at this pace. So and this is what they need to do. They don't need you want the explosive plays, but you don't need the big play. What they can't do is have procedure penalties on 3rd and 1. But this is a great drive. Whether they score or not, they've milked some clock. They've stopped USC on defense. They've shown that they can move the ball. They can manufacture plays. I don't know how many positions that Colorado has a skill advantage, so to speak. But now it's 3rd and 6. You had 3rd and 1. Let's see what Sean schemes up here. Oh, see? Look at that. He knew he would have that all day. Oh, God.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Is that Edwards? There he is. I thought he was hurt at some point.
Yeah.
I was like, where is Dylan Edwards?
All right. So they knew that they were going to have him, and man, they're going to call the pick here. So,
you think?
Yeah. Gosh. Well, you know what? They don't call it half the time. I'm a defensive coach, and it makes me so mad because there's nothing you can do about it. So what they did is that guy was man for man on Dylan Edwards, which is kind of crazy to think that, Colorado or USC would be willing to do that. But so was that a Marion Edwards out there, receiver, or a Marion Miller?
It might be. I think our Colorado site wrote about him a little bit. So he
Marion. So he was from Louisiana. He was committed to LSU
for a long time.
Oh, wow. So look at that. Another critical error by USC. That's a 1st down.
Did they not call? So they didn't call the pick. They called a necessary rough. Oh,
they did. But then after it was personal foul.
Oh,
look at this. All right. So he stepped out. So that's where things get a little iffy. And when they made this new rule, and it happened when I was coaching, and I think it's still around, they made it so if the player has given themselves up, an offensive player, you cannot go and nail them. You got to say, okay, they're going out of bounds. But at the same time, the offensive player can't pretend like they're going out and then all of a sudden try to truck you. All right, but another critical error to keep it in the game. 7 passes, 17 yards, tunnel screen. Gosh. That's hard. But right now, USC is shooting himself in the foot. I mean, if Colorado can go and score here, that gives you the confidence. That brings the fans back into the game. Got 10 personnel here.
This field looks so big.
Oh, wow. What'd you say?
Doesn't this field look like sideline? Like, so I always say that about college football. It's obviously because of the hash marks, but it just looks so
52 and a half yards.
Oh my! It looks like 150. I mean, they're running that.
Part of the reason that it looks like that, seriously, is because of the different splits that Colorado's going to give you. Sometimes they're spreading guys out so wide, and then the next play they're going to have them bunched in, and that can kind of mess with your head. But now we're 8 of 8 for 19 yards. So you got to love the efficiency. Kind of what I said early. They're going to do quick hitters. They're going to try to make sure, give them a little confidence early. What are they reviewing here? If it's a 1st down, well, it's not a 1st down. What will the D&D be, Corey? Oh, they did call it a 1st down on the field. Okay. Cam Coleman made it to Boulder.
I saw that
How
in
about
Sad
that?
Source. Yeah, he Texas A&M commit.
Wow. Were we supposed
Possibly
to put that out there?
on 5-star watch as well. Was that?
I said, look at Sean. Now, Sean is a big man. My dad actually recruited him to Wisconsin. He's from the Chicago area. He came in right after I transferred to Arizona State, so not play together. But Sean, when he started coaching, when he got into coaching, he started in Eastern Illinois, and I was scouting. And so we knew each other just because my dad recruited him. He played with a lot of my friends. And so he was brand new into coaching, and he was super motivated. So he's extremely intelligent. He's beast. He's like 6'5", 6'6" of rip steel. Like he gets up at 5 a.m. and like works out every day. And he's just like, he's an absolute machine. But so he, he's new to recruiting, and I reached out to him. I'd send him some players, try to establish a relationship. And then we started working together pretty heavy. He went from Eastern Illinois, then he went to Bowling Green, worked with him there. Then he was out at Syracuse, and he was the offense coordinator for Dino Babers there. And Dino let him call the plays. And I think his last year, or maybe Dino didn't let him call the plays, but then he got the head coaching job at Kent State. That's a first down. He got the head coaching job at Kent State. Yeah. And he took them to back-to-back bowl games and won. Kent State had never won a bowl game, believe it or not, before Sean was there. So he kind of took that program as far as he could go. He was in on a couple jobs last year. He was in on the Cincinnati job to the very last second, actually. Oh my gosh! And that's your dude from the first series.
Say no, he's good. I just on that one play, I thought
Dylan would have taken that to the house, though. He might have not gotten through that first line of defenders, but he would have house called that. All right. He's good. All right. See right there how they tried to go fast, but then the refs stood over the ball so USC could sub.
Yes.
All right. So back in the day, if you could run 5 guys on offense, and the defense didn't have time. Now, if you do any personnel change, the ref will stand over the ball until the defense gets a chance to change their personnel as well. So look at the wide splits here. Their top of numbers are bottom of numbers on both sides, and that's what really makes the field wide. And they've got them stretched horizontally. Oh my gosh! Oh, great job of batting that down by Shedeur there. That could have been ugly. Let's see if this link went through yet.
I believe that's Mason Cobb, who was the Oklahoma State kid that they got. I think he was like the defensive player of the year or led in tackles or something. But I remember the SC site.
That was a heck of a play.
Yeah.
You usually don't want to leave your feet, but he was able to leave his feet and play. Oh, a little spearing there. Good Lord. And this is something Colorado has struggled with, running the ball. They get explosive plays, but this is where Sean usually has to manufacture something. And there's different ways to run the ball. You don't just have to hand it off. You can treat a swing pass or a quick hitch. That can be part of your running game if your traditional running game isn't working like we've seen here. So 3rd and 9, interested to see what Sean does. Oh my gosh. Oh no, you can't do that. No, that was probably not a very smart play by Shedeur, but what they have done is got an incompletion. They sustained a drive. They took some time off the clock, and now they're going to be able to kick a field goal. And for Colorado's sake, they got to make this. But they've weathered this. Yeah, that should have been that's crazy.
Did you see number 10 on that rush just throw that lineman?
Yeah. There's some dudes out there. Oh, my God, he missed it. So that takes the wind out of you. But, no, even with that, I mean, Colorado's weathered the early storm. They really have. This was very close to getting out of hand early on. I give the crowd some credit. With that snap, I don't want to say that's the whole reason that they had that turnover on the first line. You got Travis Hunter back there in his hoodie following Prime around. Service is not letting him connect. Okay. Let me see if there is stadium Wi-Fi.
I was gonna ask you, Clint. So, like, for Sean, or I know Lincoln calls his own plays, but when you have a offensive coordinator that's allowed to call his own plays, and a head coach wants to give his input of what to run, a pass, run, whatever the situation is, how much do offensive coordinators feel the pressure to always go with what they say, or do they just take it as suggestions? They run the plays that they want, or does it kind of depend on the relationship as well, I guess? But
it's going to depend on the relationship. You're going to run what the head coach says. I've been on staffs where they don't run what the head coach says, and it's almost defiant. And that guy's usually not there the next season. So even like I was on a staff, our offense was very good, and the head coach was a offensive-minded head coach. But here's the thing with head coaches. Lincoln's different because Lincoln is, he's the one doing the meetings. He's the one getting on the whiteboard and drawing things up and saying, here's what we're going to do. You've got some head coaches that are going to, sit in on defensive meetings, sit in on offensive meetings, not have watched the same amount of film and everything. But they're going to be like, I'm the head coach. I got here because I'm a really good play caller. And they're going to come in there and be like, all right, here's a couple things that we're going to do. And then it comes game time, and they actually don't know every single detail of what went into the game planning process. And they're like, okay, we got to run this here. We got to run this here. And as a play caller, you just know it's not going to work because the head coach doesn't know what they don't know. They wear so many hats. As a college head coach, you're dealing with academics people. You're dealing with boosters. You're dealing with speaking engagements. So unless you are dedicated to like, this is what I'm going to do. And this is why I'm also not a big fan of head coaches that are play callers. Yes, Lincoln Riley is a phenomenal play caller. It's just if you're scheming up all week and you love your offense, and Lincoln loves his offense, and I think that is, the offense is very good, but in the long run, I think it's been a disservice as, he hasn't been able to win a championship. Not saying they can't. But it just takes away from everything else. So you got to have really good staff. You got to have really good support system, guys in administration who can take over the roles of the head coach, where he just has to show up and kind of plug and play. All right. Pressure again. I mean, you got to love that they were able to hold up in coverage there against a pressure look. Caleb, smart quarterback, knows that he can just chuck it in the ground behind the line of scrimmage. He's got it back there. But I mean, coverage-wise, Colorado holding up. Is Kermani in? I mean, he's probably their best coverage guy on the team, but it appears he doesn't like to go to meetings and stuff. So that can be a deal breaker, and it is a deal breaker for Prime. He said that Travis, as talented as he is, he's got to start showing up for meetings. So he's not going to let him play. Oh my gosh! See, and here's the other thing. Oh my gosh,
whoa.
Dude. No, so here's the deal. I've played in this stadium. I've been on that sideline. There is no room. So like that, the fans are on top of you. I don't like the fans in the first row. They can't even see anything. But they're on top of you. They're talking crap, and there's really nowhere to go. So like that guy who bumped him probably did Caleb a favor. Otherwise, he's running into a bench or a wall. All right. Big play. 3rd and 4. Empty set. All right. This looks like our old Denver. And it kind of was. Good Lord. They got a spot.
A lot of time.
No way.
Wow. Taj Washington just wide open. He's fast too.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wide open. What happened? I mean, that was a long time those DBs got to cover. You can't always blame them on those kind of coverages.
No. They held on for as long as one can. Okay, so let's see what we got. So they dropped right there, 8 into coverage. They dropped 8 into coverage, and so what they didn't do here. Okay, see the corner who was responsible for Taj. What he did is pass him off. When you get into a scramble drill, what we do is we would call it paste or lock or whatever. even if you're in a zone, when they're scrambling and the play is broken down, your man becomes your man. You got to stay with them. And what he did is he pointed off and passed him off to nobody. All right. So that is on that player. Schematically, everything was fine defensively. I would say that they did a great job. But on defense, if one guy doesn't make their assignment correct, and that's all that happened there, everybody else did a great job. He passed the guy off to nobody. So you have to have great communication in the secondary for starters. But you just can't make mistakes like that. That's third down, okay? They get off the field there. Colorado's back with the ball again. It's still a 7-point game. Now you're looking at 14 points. You missed a field goal. You did establish a drive, so you're excited about that. I think that Sean was able to get what I would call it, as a play caller, one play ahead of me if I'm a defensive coordinator. Sometimes you feel like you're one play behind. Like the offensive coordinator kind of has a feel, and they are in control. And so what you're trying to do as a defensive coordinator is you don't always have to manufacture something as a defensive coordinator. You can go back to your base stuff, hope that your guys play with great fundamentals and everything like that. But you try to regain that momentum. So maybe, you're looking for an explosive play on defense. Maybe you call, a pressure, or, you just try to get something, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're a play behind. Now, as a play caller, being a play ahead, there is no better feeling, because you feel like you own that butt of, that other coordinator. You're staring them in the eyes. You're like, yeah, I got you. But, it's a chess match. I don't think people really can truly grasp what goes into preparation for a game. Just the insane detail. It's almost over preparation. So, and let me, every school is going to have their base, calls. They're going to have their base defense, and you build everything off that base defense. So day one, you're installing your base defense. So you've got your base terms, your base front, your base coverages, and you're always going to fall back on those. Okay. But then you slowly add things in. And I don't remember where I was going with that, Corey, because somebody texted me during it, and they still, no stadium Wi-Fi, it appears. But what did I start with? Gosh, I'm going blank now.
I mean, you were just talking about like the base coverage.
Oh, being a play ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you always go back to your hey, I got kids texting me or trying to come on the cast. Is it quarter yet?
I think no. It might be actually. My laptop's like right over the times.
Maybe I'll have them FaceTime me.
There's still like 2:30 left.
Yeah, the call's not even going through yet. Maybe a quarter. But the text did go through. It's just the link's not connecting.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
what we need to do? We're going to ship them Wi-Fi hotspots next time.
That'd be great if we could. Shoot.
Yeah, we need to. Can we get was it? Hey, oh man. He got me with the fake voicemail. He's like, yo, what's going on? And I start talking to him. He's like, unfortunately, I can't make it to the phone. All right. Come on, you got me live, Nick. Thanks, man.
I'll clip that for him.
And I fell for it. I was like, wait a second. There's no noise in the background. I was like, oh, wow.
Is that really a fumble? Wait. I don't know if that was a fumble, was it?
I was too busy looking at you.
Same.
Okay, he's down.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah.
Now that would be catastrophic.
Yeah, that would.
Bear. Oh, he's definitely down. But great job getting his hand in there. They're going for the ball.
I believe, is that Bear? Would that be Bear?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Bear Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Rivals camp vet.
Always, yeah, he's
oh,
great.
Good Lord. You got to slide. No one to hold him, no one to fold him. That's my receivers coach at Wisconsin, Henry Mason. Lee Evans was Lee Evans was, I think, the first round draft pick. I don't know. He absolute freak. And but Lee would always he'd be wrapped up and he'd try to keep the play alive, and he would just get absolutely waylaid, and we'd be in film sessions, and coach would always be like, gotta know when, oh my gosh, you can't do that. And here's the thing, the guy was open too.
Yeah. That right there, I mean, I understand why like Shadur kind of threw it on the run, but like when he watches the film, he'll realize he actually had time to set his feet to make a better throw. Like he kind of thought he had to get rid of it faster than he needed to.
Yeah, overrated.
What, my take or him?
No. There was a guy in his face. He had to get the ball up.
Oh, okay. Just like to the eyes, like, oh, I think he had a second to maybe plant his feet. But that's a hard throw. I mean, again, it's 150.
It's a very hard throw. So he didn't want it to get blocked, but at the same time, it looked like the receiver didn't finish his route.
Absolutely, yeah.
The defensive back finished the route for him. The defensive back read the ball, saw the point it was going, and the receiver was just kind of jogging out of his break. So something's got to give here for Colorado. Otherwise, this is going to get ugly. Oh, no, Zachariah Branch. Oh, it's Mario Williams?
That's Mario. I think Zach's number.
What number is Zach?
I think he's 1.
I haven't seen him yet. Zach, I remember the first time I saw Zach, Rivals Camp, my first ever Rivals Camp, actually. Oh, good Lord. Those are quick hitters. Those are so hard to defend. So the linebackers are reading their keys, the linemen. So when those linemen pull, they're scraping over. So they've got people flowing the opposite way. The running backs, everything on that play is flowing the opposite way except for the backside. He just turned, and Caleb gets the ball out so fast. Like, I feel the pain of this defensive coordinator right now. And Lincoln's definitely one play ahead of him. All right, so we're going to get a pressure here. Tackled the wrong guy. All right. I don't know. Third down.
I mean, like schools like SC, Georgia, like any of these, like obviously like top 5 ranked like programs, they just have so many weapons that these defensive coordinators with, depending on what the program is, it's like you have to focus on every single guy. It's not like some of these schemes, some weeks it's like, oh, as long as we got number 13 locked, we'll be okay or something. Every player matters on like, so if everyone goes one way, then I mean, it's like you can't. It's just hard to kind of scheme against. You got to really put some trust in the one-on-ones, you know.
Yeah, and you're not going to win those one-on-ones. So it's just, and then there's so many dilemmas, you know. So if you give up something in coverage to have extra run fits, you know, then they're going to expose you there. You give up something in your run fits to have extra coverage, they're going to expose you there. And that's why these zone reads and these options and different, you know, it's I mean, it's no different than the option back in the day. It's like the new age of it. There's an answer for everything that comes at you. If somebody, you know, crashes down on you, you pitch the ball. You know, there's an answer for everything. And it just makes it really hard as a defense. And then as a coordinator, you try switching up coverages, run fits. You know, one of the things that I always like to do if we were playing cover 2 or quarters is, you know, you drop into like an insert cover 3, not your traditional cover 3, where, you know, one of your safeties is dropping in to be what we would call the middle curl defender, and then you're kicking the linebacker out. So you're still having you know, some sort of an 8-man box, but it looks different to the quarterback. You know, the biggest thing is you don't want the quarterback to have a clear picture. If the quarterback has a clear picture, you're in trouble because they can expose you. It doesn't matter what you do. There's going to be a guy open. They're going to find it. Now at the college level, my biggest thing is most quarterbacks, and Caleb's in a different class. You know, he's a student of the game. Plus he's extremely talented, obviously. But you want quarterbacks making the decision. You don't want the coach making the decision. So you're really trying to, you know, you're trying to disguise on defense. You know, I always said, like, you know, there's certain teams that whenever they pressure, they're only going into a fire zone cover 3. And the quarterback knows if they see pressure, they're getting cover 3 every time. So they know exactly where to go with the ball. So you got to have change-ups to that. and you got to cloudy the picture for the quarterback. You know, in college, they can just call the play at the line to the very last second, and that's why the disguising of the coverages is so important. Now with a guy like Caleb, he can sit there and he's like a coach on the field. He can read it. He doesn't need to look at the sideline the whole time to know what to do. Like he's in control. And this offense is just such a well-oiled machine. It is taught so well that there is he just fully grasps it. It's like having another coach on the field. And so he's kind of, the exception to the rule of, you want to cloudy the picture for the quarterback. He is a coach. So that just makes things hard. I'm going to try Nick one more time.
Yeah,
oh, God. Now the texts aren't even going through.
So
I'm going to hit up his mom. Maybe I'm going to try Mom and see if, Mama Tron's the best.
Oh, for sure. I think he came to the Rivals camp, Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
I think I met her there.
Do they have stadium Wi-Fi, man? No. All right. Is it try the link a couple more times. See if it'll connect. Hopefully you can find a signal, man. Since we don't have you on right now, give me the overall vibe in the stadium, right? This is Nick Marsh, Michigan State commit, on the phone right now. What's the overall vibe in the stadium right now?
It's probably quiet now after that touchdown.
Yeah. Is it still loud that they're down 21-0, or are they kind of taking the crowd out of it now? All right. Yeah. No. Hey, since this is working and the stream isn't, can you? Oh wait, you can hear it.
Yeah.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Tell me about the pregame meal. What'd you guys have? Today, pregame meal. Before your game, man. Oh, no, in Colorado. Okay, all the good stuff. What did Mama Tron have? Okay, with some cranberry juice. What was your drink of choice today, Nick? Nick Marsh. Hey, for all the coaches out there who wanted it, he's an apple juice guy. All right, so you went straight for the apple juice. What have you guys done since you got there? What time did you get there last night? Okay. What time did you have to take off from Detroit? Oh, wow. What, did you fly private? Okay, keep in mind you're on air right now, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that, just to remind you. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let you go. You enjoy the game, but tell Mama Tron we say what's up, and then just try the link a couple more times, okay? And then we'll try to get you on here. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, man.
It was kind of hard to hear, but it was that was awesome that he got on the phone just for a couple minutes. Just the fact that he took some time out of the game.
Oh yeah, he keeps on trying. He's trying to find a stadium Wi-Fi password.
I'm surprised at all. I mean, nowadays you would think just teams in general would have a Wi-Fi only for recruits, because the recruits could post that they're on the visits and stuff.
Yeah. Let me. Pregame, it's a lot easier. It's like when that stadium gets packed and everybody's signals are gone. Let me see. Let me try another guy. Now, what service do you have?
Verizon.
I guess we all do.
Trick question.
Yeah. No, I'm double Verizon.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to see maybe Nick or this next person, this next special guest from Chicago has a different service. And maybe that could be the key to success. Otherwise, you know what? Hopefully at halftime, we can maybe get a couple guys on.
Oh, late shovel pass. You should have just taken it for the first.
Yeah, you're in front of me now.
Oh, okay. I'll pause it. Sorry. How much time's on your clock?
That was a lateral. Jeez. 12:41.
Wait, 12:41 or 14:41?
14:41.
Okay, I was gonna say. Let me know when you get.
There's a lot. I see it too. Yeah.
Let me know when you get to.
I'm waiting. I'm in the future.
Right. Let me know when you get to 14:24.
I'm there.
Perfect. All right. So we're about there now.
10. Ooh, geez. Now there's
Clint,
a lot
I do
of
have like a fun game, real quick. I was
okay.
thinking about it. If you're a head coach, right? You know, like blank school, Clint Cosgrove, you're now the head coach. For fun, what offense are you going to want to run and what defense? Like, just what do you think would everything on the line? What are you going to run? What's the obviously you might hire a defensive coordinator, call the plays, but you're like, I want to run this, I want to run this.
What conference am I in?
I'll give you. We'll just do like it doesn't be like really in depth answers, but we can do all three, I guess. Like let's do SEC and what I mean, you know, the Big Ten, like the Big 10, Big 12 kind of play like more air raid, like big spread. So let's just do both. Like if you're got in the SEC and if you got into one of the big schools, like the Big 12, Big 10.
Yeah, it really does depend on what school you're at because it's going to depend on the personnel that you can recruit. You know, I've never run it as a defense, but I've become a big fan of the 3-3-5. Just because of the trouble that it gives the offensive line. Now people think that it's soft against the run. That's not necessarily the case. Oftentimes you have more defenders in the box. But you know, I've run anything from under, which is kind of like your 3-4. If I was going to do if I want to come in and, you know, quick rebuild, I would probably do like a bare 3-4 front. So I'd go 0, a balanced defense, basically. I want kids to be able to play fast. I want them to not think. I think that a lot of the time, us as coaches, it's not about what we know, it's what the kids know. And so you can have a play call for everything. You can have an answer for everything, but it doesn't matter if the kids can't execute it. So you know, either a 3-3-5. I think I'd be some sort of 3 down. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
As I was saying, it's interesting. It's like, like kind of for fun. Like if you made a Madden coach thing, you know, it's like you got to pick your offense, you got to pick your defense. What are you rolling with?
Yeah.
And obviously, like the question could be way more in depth of like, what am I walking into? What program? Like if you're in the SEC and you're walking into, let's say, Vanderbilt,
I'm not running the 3-3-5. Well, see. If I was at Vanderbilt, I might do that. You got to do something different at those schools. It's almost like the triple option for offense. Now, Rocky Long, Rocky Long is kind of like the dude for the 3-3-5 guru. And he's at Syracuse now, and they're having a lot of success there. You know, Zach Arnett was a Rocky Long dissemble 3-3-5 guy. I find that the defensive coordinators, there you go, that get head coaching jobs a lot of the time are the 3-3-5 guys. I don't know why. Maybe it's a different thing. I mean, I
trend, I guess. And then with college football being so wide open and kind of high scoring, it almost seems like every game just pick the over. I mean, obviously it's not true, but it feels that way. Yeah,
I know.
Oh wait, on that play right there, right, number 10 Weaver. It looks like they're both off sync. Sometimes offensive coordinators in plays give the wide receiver options within the route.
Yep.
Is that a situation right there where he thought he can go on the inside and Shedeur thought he should go outside?
I think that was he was supposed to sit in that. He misread the coverage. There were the quarterback and the receiver. But yeah, no. So yeah, within pretty much every, I mean, there's certain, if like quick game stuff, like you're not gonna do your things based off coverage. You might do your release off coverage, like right there. There's not going to be any, variation within the route concept. You know what's happening there. Now, like a lot of teams, like you look at what Tennessee does, they're running steamers or like 4 verts almost every play, but it's going to look different every time based off the coverage. So if you've got man, you're doing this. If they're even, he's leaving. So that means that he's going to, if the receiver and the defensive back are even, he's going to keep going on his go route. If the defensive back's on top, they're going to snap it off. If they get a zone coverage, that steamers all of a sudden could turn into a post dig concept. Like there's just so many different reads, and it really depends on what your scheme does. Got him. See, that was a great play call. Who was that?
I was about to say too, this is a great drive for Colorado here. They actually looked in that was the most in sync they looked, and they looked the most confident and the most most in control, I should say, of the series.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, and the thing that you like here, okay, so Sean knows how they're going to line up at this point. He's gotten his scripted stuff out of the way. Let's see what happened here.
And it's Marvell Tell. Just didn't even move.
Okay, so right there, no, yeah. Well, he was a run. So you talk about run fits and stuff like that. He was coming down. I don't know if they were in the quarters or, but he was like a run support guy. I wish I could see the coach's copy. I'd be able to tell you more about it. But no, he schemed that up. And that's what Sean's going to do, okay? And then now the guys are getting a little tired.
Here comes the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, they kept him in it.
So I got to ask you, so you obviously went to Wisconsin. You coached for many years. You kind of been through the transition either while you were in the scouting phase. When you were playing, obviously at the Wisconsin was always the old school, power offense, fullback, running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight. I mean, old school, that's how we're going to beat you.
We played with a fullback.
Right.
I played on AstroTurf.
Oh, man. Is that why your knees always hurt?
That's why I have no skin on like any like look at that. There's like no it's like there's no the freckles disappear because it's all scarred.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
So what I was gonna ask was when the transition of the game, like 5-10 years ago, when it went really spread and wide and kind of adapted like the leach and the real fast air raid systems, since you kind of came from and played through like the traditional like run heavy power, were you like this is the future, or were you like this will never work? And then all of a sudden, and then obviously this is what the NFL, this is what everyone's pretty fast, everyone's kind of doing different things, but it's definitely more wide open and more throwing. Like, are you surprised with how the direction of football came since you kind of went through the player to coach?
No, not at all. It was like when the forward pass was invented, they're like, that's not going to work. You can't just throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
No, if you were a defensive coach, like, I played offense, but I was originally supposed to play defense. It's just my shoulders wouldn't stand. I couldn't tackle anymore. So that's how I ended up on offense. But you, as a defensive coach, you knew that this was the future because they were doing things that you couldn't stop. And
Right.
So I always thought it was funny when, because for a long time they said the zone read and all that stuff wouldn't work in the NFL, right?
Right.
Nobody's going to risk their quarterback. The players are too fast. The scheme doesn't matter. So I thought it was really funny when they would hire these NFL defensive coordinators that had big name guys down at a college level. And I'm like, they're going to get absolutely roasted. They will not know how to defend the zone read. That is something that took years for defenses to coach up. Really, Rich Rod was kind of the guy who did the evolution that brought in all of the 2-back, triple option, stuff. And so that was kind of like the basis. Like, I remember sitting in the office and just like, I would get with the offense coaches and we'd just get on the board. I'd be like, okay, what if I did this, and this and this? And there was no answer for what they were doing. And so you knew it was the future. Now, not everybody was going to do it because it was going to take time for the defenses to catch up. They're a little heavier. They were meant to stop the run. They were, to be physical. Now you got to find a way to find big dudes who can run and are physical. And but no, you knew it was the future. And then I knew it would end up in the NFL eventually. I was like, it's too much of a schematic advantage for an offense to not run these types of plays. There's very few teams like, you saw Alabama, they stayed with that pro style offense for a long time. And even Nick Saban said, you know what? And they had a talent advantage over everybody. Saban said, we got to change it up. He's like, this is a different era. Saban, I give him a lot of credit because defensive coaches, offensive coaches, they're typically going to build their team off their vision of what football is. And Saban's vision of winning is we're going to have better players than you. We're going to be better coached than you. And we are going to just run our stuff and we're going to win with defense and control the game with our offense. And you saw the way the game was going. And you can go so far, by not adapting. But he said if we're going to if we're going to compete for national championships every year, something's got to change. And, he said, screw it. I don't care how many points we give up. As long as we're winning games, we're going to win some with defense. We're going to win some with offense. And that's just been the evolution of the game. So
no, because I remember, everyone's written about this at some point, but I believe it was Graham Harrell at Texas Tech when he was there and he threw for all those yards. He didn't win the Heisman. Like that was during that time where people were like, it's just an offense that's just going to score a lot. So why, you know what I mean? Like, so it's crazy that like, they always say like, if he would have played now, he probably would have easily won the Heisman or been a higher pick in the draft or he's only 30 or he's 32.
Yeah, but he's a scheme quarterback. Like a lot of scheme quarterbacks, like the air raid stuff, like Leach's stuff. And I'm a huge Leach fan, like innovator, love the dude. RIP. But and I would say to an extent with this too. That was a nice hit. With Lincoln's offense. It's all about the offense every day. So when you're at practice, it's about the offense's script. The defense is just getting thrown to the wolves half the time because it's 3 and out or quick score. They don't get, it's just the team's built for the offense to score. And I think that's going to be a problem for USC long term. You got to find balance. Oh my God.
Woo!
That was huge.
Hopefully, he had his mouthpiece in there. He always likes to do the Steph Curry. How do you not see him, man? That's some tunnel vision right there. He was. How does he not see him at all?
Jeez, because there's a corner cat. So that guy wasn't even accounted for in the protection.
Yeah,
the tackle should have come off his guy and seen him coming. But I would say part of that is on Caleb. He didn't change the protection. They didn't see it coming.
So my Joe take on that,
big
tight end released on that play. Could that tight end get talked to saying like I understand it's not your protection, it's not that play, but if you see him come flying in, throw a chip block out there. You know what I mean?
Well, it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
So sometimes the tight end, he's not part of the protection. It's like a receiver, you're running your route. And that guy was not accounted for. So the tight end, I think that was probably, I would have to watch the replay. The back stepped in and scanned the middle. And did not pick up the guy who was coming off the edge. So he should have been accounted for. I can't remember if they went slide protection. If they went full slide, they would have.
I like that.
The back would have automatically looked out. But without seeing the replay, I can't really tell you. But that was probably the backs guy because the tackle was not even looking out there. I got to order in DoorDash.
See that punt where the ball went to the end zone and the guy ran to the end zone that jumped up and tried to hit it out. I like that. You got to just at least try something, This drive here is when I love when the commentators go, Colorado's got to score on this drive. That's my favorite part, and that's exactly what everyone's saying. I bet you if we had the audio on, the commentators when they come back, it's like, this is a drive where Colorado's got to score. And I always laugh because it's like the saying's like, should they score every drive? But I always love what
should they score every drive? Oh yeah,
they got to score here.
That is true, but there are certain times where you're like, you kind of need to score here if things are going to get out of hand. How much time do we have left in the half?
We got a decent amount of time. This game's got a fast, but like slow. We still got over 9 minutes. You're stuck with me for 9 more minutes. That's of game time.
I want to stay on at half and see if we can get some of these kids on it. Yeah, maybe the signal freshes up. Okay,
I guess some scores.
Yeah, let's hear some scores.
Texas A&M up on Arkansas 10-6, I believe, on that game. Let me look here. Gorney and I both took A&M, and John took Arkansas. So we're not covering 10-6.
Arkansas's got to win that. Well, Sam Pittman has to win that.
Max Johnson in. They had Max Johnson starting. They lost their quarterback. I mean, Max Johnson's been there for a while, transfer from LSU. Oh, my gosh, Florida. I can never bet Florida, and I went on this huge thing. Florida's down 23-0.
Is Florida winning?
No, 23-0 to Kentucky.
Okay.
If you listen to the podcast.
That was one of the games that I played, that I actually played. All right. I'm gonna have somebody with a USC offer possibly come on.
Yeah, whatever, man. Everyone's still.
Hey, do you think Talon would want to hop on? He's got a USC offer. Do you think he'd want to hop on the podcast real quick? All right. I'll send a link to his phone. Just text me if he wants to hop on, and we'll just talk about USC. All right. Okay. Bye. All right. We might have a guy with a USC offer coming on. I went to go and see him play last night. We'll see if he's down for it. He is watching the game, as Mom just said.
Nice.
Yeah.
They or you can text her, say have him come on at half, because then you won't have to worry about like watching the game. You can just chill, at a minimum, like or say if you want.
She said she'd ask him. He'll come on.
Yeah. By the way, Penn State down 10-3 to Northwestern, and
it's funny. Last night I was told I was at Talon Taylor's Geneva versus Batavia game. Ohio State coach was there, talked to him for a little bit, but I was told by one of the Midwest, well, actually one of the guys from the All-American Bowl last night. He's like Northwestern's going to win that tomorrow. And so anybody who has played at Northwestern, yeah, I'm telling you this, it is one of the hardest places to play. So you go there, and it's usually like this time, it's actually a beautiful day in Chicago today. It's like sunny and nice. But you go there, and you're used to playing, especially Penn State, in front of 100,000 people. And it's hard to get up for a game there. It's like there's fans sprinkled in the stands. The grass is long to slow you down. And, it's just a weird place to play.
It is. By the way, did you like my lock of the week?
BYU did it win?
I did it 35-27, baby. And I got a point. We were cruising last night.
I saw that it was even come game time.
Yeah. I think I saw 1, and then it got to 1.5, and then you're right. I think it came back up. But where are we at in this game? 3rd and 8.
Crucial play.
Dylan Edwards in, so they're trying to get a little bit more speed. They got to score on this drive, Clint. They got to score here. If they want to make a statement, they got to score.
But how fast do they need to score? Got him. Oh, wow. What a play. Wow.
Not sure I would have ran that play, but, I'm not a D1 coach.
I mean, he had it.
Yeah, he did.
Look at this.
I guess I would just try to find something that's a little bit more
went right
quick hitting, a little more quick hitting, a little bit more open space to let I feel like they have a little bit more of the dynamic receivers where they're good after the catch. So certain that's kind of what I look at, but you can only run that so many times. I mean, that was a big body receiver.
There is what the defense did is they stood at the sticks. Oh my god!
Blocked it. What was that?
Yeah,
what was
he
he looking
did.
for? Scoop and score.
You do not see very many Aussie style punts get blocked. All right, let's see. It's still loading.
Did you I was watching, I believe it was the Tennessee punter. I don't know what the advantage is. Maybe you can give him more of insight. He can punt with both legs. So during the game, he'll run to the right, and he'll run to the left, and he'll literally kick whatever side he's on. But he could do both legs punting.
That's insane. I guess you can't scheme it up.
The commentators, I believe, are saying because, like, I mean, if anyone's been around, like the ball obviously comes different, but it's pumped by a different foot. So they're just saying like it just gives, hopefully, like messes up. But it's like it's just catching the ball in the end. But I guess it's just something for some sort of advantage, or it comes off the I don't know. But I thought that was wild.
Well, it's more of like, so if you know which way they're going to roll out every time, like it makes it easy on your special teams calls. You just know that the guy's going to roll out to that side, and so. I mean, even when it comes to like fake punts, sorry to anybody who hears my baby crying downstairs.
Whose baby is that?
Can you hear that? Whose baby is that? My wife just came home, and we got a crier. He saw the score, wasn't happy. He was cheering for Uncle Sean.
Right.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh
That's
man,
what you can't do.
Mario, the old connection, the former Sooner connection.
Yeah, no. See, look at that. They're a first down away, then a play away from making it a 1-score game, and now it's a 21-point game.
I feel like Caleb's more fired up or more animated after every touchdown than we've seen this season. Maybe it's just what I've seen today, and maybe he's always doing that. Like he's always in the game, but it seems like he's more animated. I don't know if there's more trash talking of like the fans to him.
Well, there's more trash talking. Yeah, the fans are right on top of you. You can literally have a conversation with them. And they'll have a conversation with you until you're up by like 30. We went in there and like put a whooping on them, and they were the drunk ones were still talking at the end of the game, but
they're still hanging in there.
Look at this. So he's All right.
I cannot believe that Florida-Kentucky score. I go on this huge rant that I can never pick Florida. I like Florida's a great team.
I would never pick.
No matter what I do, they go the opposite.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is Florida a great team?
Great team of like they screw me of my betting odds. I wanted to go Kentucky. This was my take. I said I wanted to go Kentucky.
Kentucky's good. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean they got Devin Leary, but my thought is whatever I've done so far with Florida, it's the opposite. So I wanted to go Kentucky, so I'll just go Florida.
So don't pick the game. Like,
well,
at least don't put money
guess what?
on it.
I'm
you
the
got
one
to
that
pick the game.
Yeah, I'm the one that picks the mush slots, and there might not be a whole lot more Floridas the rest of the year, unless it's a big matchup.
They're hurting your record. Who's got the best record right now?
You're looking at him, baby. The mush. I'm 500.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 24 and 24 right now.
Not with the VIG. So you're down on the year.
24 wins, 24 losses, yeah.
Do you guys do like a upset ever? Like a money line upset of the week?
No, we should add those. We kind of hit like
that'd be cool to see if you money line upset of the week, right? And then you accumulate. So if it's like a plus 600, you get 600 points if you hit it that week. You guys should do that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to win. I always tell people about the podcast, which is kind of fun, is Gorney's a really big numbers guy. John,
he's big on where the money is.
Yeah, the money, the numbers, like what's the spread. John's very, very. He's kind of like you, Clint, where he's very like coach-esque of like he remembers the athletes, he watches the games, he knows, he gives that kind of perspective. And then it's me who's like, I just like Florida. I do. I trust my eyes,
I'm telling you, hey, we texted about this when you picked Alabama and they picked Ole Miss, and I I've never sided with a pick on the mush before, and I tweeted. I was like, I'm gonna go with Corey on this one.
Yeah. When in doubt, go Saban.
College,
he covers. I don't know why, but he when in doubt.
Well, it's college football, and we were texting about this. I'm like, these are 18, 19-year-old kids. Is who out?
Branch is out. He's got clothes on.
Oh, that's why we hadn't seen him.
I thought he was in one play. I thought he slipped.
Really? Because I didn't see him on today's depth chart. That's why I was wondering.
So maybe it was like maybe it was Mario, then like his number just kind of merged.
Yeah.
But anyway, good.
Yeah. Where were we at again?
We were talking about how college, because we were talking about when we were texting, and I always say my rule is go with Saban, and you're like college football.
Yeah, no. So like a quarterback's girlfriend could break up with him, and that could determine the game. Like, these are kids, and those are the dynamics that you're playing with. Like, professionals are a little more, they're mentally strong. They have to be, because their career's on the line. These guys are still in college. It's different. Now they're becoming more and more like pros as the game becomes more specialized and it becomes serious at a younger age, and they're actually making money. Oh my gosh. So that was a 2-for-1 special right there. That's a very impressive play by whoever number 10 is.
I got the Jamal.
But so where's he from?
Oh, he's a transfer. Triple wait, this is triple
transfer.
Super senior. Redshirt senior transfer. I believe started at Vanderbilt and Georgia State, and now he's here. He's a monster, though. He's throwing dudes like
he's kind of like the dude at Florida State who started out at Albany. He redshirted at Albany, and now he's the number 1 edge prospect in the nation. He's out there just like killing dudes.
It's like a Curse or Kel or something like that.
I don't even know his name.
I don't know.
I think he might wear the same number.
I remember someone asked me, like, on the recruiting side of, like, what happened with him? Like, how did he end up at Albany? And I was like, well, he redshirted at Albany. So either he had, unfortunately, maybe he had grade issues, or he had a late growth spurt. But it's like, it kind of answered itself as, like, if he's a redshirt at Albany, it kind of answers your own question of what his recruiting was like or how we missed him, because he probably wasn't recruited. Maybe came from a small town. Like, we have no idea. You never know.
So I can tell you the story.
Oh, there we go.
He was 6'2", 205 pounds.
And so you're like a wide receiver, or like a tight end hybrid?
No, he was a linebacker. So they or maybe a defensive end, but so his coach calls up his connection at Albany. He's like, I think we got a dude here. He's like, he just, he needs some seasoning, he needs to put on some weight. They watch the film and they're like, we'll take him. And at the time, Albany had a really good edge defender who I think might have set the school sack record or whatnot. So the dude redshirts. It was his only scholarship, and that was the plan. He was going to redshirt. And so then COVID happened, and his parents were like, we're going to put weight on you, and you're going to become an absolute freak. And so he just ate, like, I think 8,000 calories a day and would do these insane workouts. And then when COVID was over, like, I don't even know if Albany played that season. He comes back and he was like a totally transformed dude. And that senior was gone, and it was time for him to step in. And the coach said that he was the one person, if he had to name one guy that he's ever seen that took advantage of that COVID time more than anybody else, it was him. So think about most guys in this position. I don't have a scholarship, and then I'm redshirting at Albany, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys would be like, I don't have a legit shot at the NFL. Like, I'll kind of do this as I want. This kid said, I'm a freak. I know I'm a freak. I'm going to show you I'm a freak. And so he would start doing during COVID too. His roommate, I think, was an offensive lineman. And he was doing this on scout team. Like, he showed signs of greatness on scout team, but he's like, all right, this is the move that I'm going to make on you, to the offensive lineman, so that the offensive lineman would know and get a jump on him, and then make it harder for him. And he still couldn't be stopped. So yeah, it's a really cool story. The kid took advantage of the off time. He just didn't have the size coming out, put in the work, got the size, And we see him today, and he's an absolute freak at Florida State. So there's the story behind the story.
Well, I was gonna say, that's one of the positive things of the transfer portal, the way it is now, is guys like him, where it's like, I know, like, as the kids would say, like, I know I got that dog in me. Like, I know I can play.
Yeah,
I just need someone to give me a chance. And Albany's like, all right, we'll give you a chance. And sure enough, he proves everyone wrong, balls out, and goes to a big time program. He's balling out there. Now he's gonna be a first round pick. And it's like, that's what, like, these kids that, like, when we go to these combines, it's like, you never know with the transfer portal. It's like, sometimes it's like, just go find a home, ball out, and you'll, I mean, things happen, like, that's the fun thing about the transfer portal. Like, every year we have those transfer rankings. Sometimes the biggest kids on there are the ones that are coming from Albany, like these kids that just go crazy at these lower levels.
Yeah.
And these big schools want them, especially
Harvard to LSU. Yeah, like Harvard,
Yeah.
the offensive lineman from Harvard goes to LSU. Like, you see a lot. So, like, that's the same thing why you see a lot of, like, 2 stars or no stars from the Midwest, especially offensive linemen, become first 3-round draft picks. Like,
yeah, exactly.
These guys have played 8-man football or small football. They're just big. They haven't grown into their body. They haven't developed body control. I remember back during COVID, I was like, you're going to see more D2 and D3 guys go to the NFL than we've ever seen before, because a lot of schools' recruitments, they just shut it down, and we're only recruiting guys that they already had relationships with, that they had seen in person, that they had on campus and everything like that. And so a lot of these kids never even got a shot. They didn't even get senior film out there. Like, some states didn't play, like Illinois. I'm not going to get political, but I'm pretty angry about that. Like,
yeah. Well, you saw too, like, programs with the COVID year. Obviously, if an athlete didn't have enough to make it to the next level, and they just stayed. And after a while, it was like, we don't have any spots. Like, if it was a normal year, we would have 15 more spots. And like, we ran into a bunch of recruits that were like, all I want to do is go to Colorado. And Colorado, like we should have 15 seniors graduating, and they're not leaving.
Yep.
And like, so like you can like, we saw, I'm sure you could test this more. We saw way more walk-ons in those couple of years than ever before, because they just had no spots. But it was like, as soon as they leave, you got it, or whatever. But obviously kids leave because it's like, for whatever reasons. But it was such an interesting time, and you kind of almost just felt like, as like a human being, like, you felt bad for these athletes, because it's like,
I felt horrible.
Any other year you'd be
a Division I scholarship kid. Yeah. But I saw so many Division I kids literally go to D3 schools. It'll be interesting to see, because, in the past, it was so hard to transfer up, like, before the portal era. Like, if you were a D2, unless you were like the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, like their Heisman guy, it was hard to transfer up. You just weren't going to take a lower level transfer. You got to sit out a year back then, and like, it was just like, what's the return on our investment here? We did have one kid. I remember when I was coaching in Minnesota, he didn't even start at the D2 school. He came and showed up at practice. I don't know how he ended up walking on, and
he got an address.
We knew, but I loved him, because I was like, he would go out on scout team every single day. Oh my gosh. He'd go out on scout team every single day. Did not care if he pissed off the seniors, did not care what anybody thought. And he would just talk crap and make plays every single day on scout team. And I wasn't sure if he would ever play, but I was like, I love this kid for this, because it takes a lot of cojones to, like, there's dynamics of a college football team. And like, a lot of places he would have gotten thrown in the locker, and well, you can't do that nowadays, I guess. That'll get the head coach fired. But
hypothetically.
Yeah. But I leave and I come back for a game, and because my brother was playing at Minnesota, and I come back for a game, I think it was his senior day or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he ended up starting for us, or for them at Minnesota. And I think he was like second team all Big Ten or something.
There we go.
Man. So like, I remember talking with the coaches where he transferred from the D2 school. They're like, why did you take that clown? Like, we're like, we love him on scout team. And sure enough, the dude ends up starting. I think he's a rapper now.
Okay. Find a way.
Find a way. Another walk-on that we had that also ended up being a great player there is now WWE wrestler Riddick Moss.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah. And his brother is 29 years old and a defensive coordinator in the NFL. Another walk-on for us. His brother walked on too. The Rawlins family. Phenomenal people. Obviously know how to out-punt their coverage, but shout out to Riddick Moss. I knew he was in the WWE development program, and I was out with my brother talking to him in San Diego recently. And he's like, he's like one of the main guys now. I was like, really? Like, that's awesome. So,
yeah, we've actually had a good, like you've seen in the camp series when we do our rivals every spring, we've had a good amount of wrestlers come through. I mean, last year we missed out on a
Goldberg's kid,
Mark Henry's kid. I think Mark Henry's. I think I saw this morning on, I think it was Instagram. I think he talked to Colorado this week. I think he was out there. He was one of the celebrities out there.
Is he out there right now?
I didn't see him in the pregame. I wasn't fully paying attention, but he posted, I think, a photo. Maybe it was a while back.
Hey, we didn't do kind of like the Minnesota Captains watch. Corey's celebrity count.
Yeah. There's too much now.
Who have we all seen? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually kind of a lot of the same guys again, which surprised me. I mean, it's cool for the program that they come back out, but I mean, Tara Owens is back out there. I mean, I think there's been some the rappers, a lot of former players.
That's a very USC feel to it, to be honest, because I remember when I was on staff at Nebraska, we played at USC, and I remember walking on the field and like Will Ferrell's out there and all these people. I'm like, this is insane. I was like, this is super cool. All right. We got 2x2. Oh, that was a nice play by the defensive back. He's a step too late.
If you're USC right here, are you trying to see what?
The same exact play that Sean ran on third down.
You're right. That is the same play.
It worked for USC.
There's not a flag. The guy didn't get off the field in time. They definitely had two guys on the field.
Look at that. Corey's flag count. How many flags do we have?
So that guy was really slow getting off that field.
Okay. So
I'm actually surprised if it was that kind of sub. It must have not been like the ref substitution. It might have just been their own. Because I don't know why they
sometimes. Yeah. Well, that's how you get yelled at by the head coach on the headset. What are you doing? They didn't sub. What are you doing? What is going on? And getting yelled at on the head coach on the headsets in the box, you're just brutal. Like, cool, bro. Like I see that. Okay. See,
there it is. There it is.
I knew it was gonna happen. Hold on. Juicy. This is Juicy. Say hi, Juicy. All right, Juicy's going to the groomer. Handing Juicy off. Big day. Big day. Spa day for Juicy. Oh no, you got to make that tackle. Oh,
there's
Jerry's boy. 41. What was the over?
I'll have to look. There's Brendan Rice. There he is.
Give me a Brendan Rice story from high school.
He wasn't my age. I think I was even with Rivals. I think when he was in high school.
Where's he from?
I remember when he transferred. It was because he came from Colorado. Like that's where he was. I believe he's from Texas. Kind of like, I mean, unfortunately, he was a little bit more caught of like being a son of a Hall of Famer more than just like his own. And he's definitely proved people wrong by saying like he's actually a legit receiver, you know? I mean, I know he's a senior this year, but yeah, he was just right before my time, like really, really at Rivals. But he's a monster though. I mean,
can you imagine being like Michael Jordan's kid? It's like, even if you're as good as, I don't even know the NBA players' names. Even if you're as good as Paul Pierce, you're a failure. You know, he's not as good as his dad, you know? Oh, that's a tough one. So I don't know what you do right here as Colorado.
I'm seeing 73.5 right now on the Yahoo app, Yahoo Sports app.
Yeah, we got to get a live sportsbook thing in here
I
going.
know.
Um,
There was a way
said
I was going to try this week, but we'll see. Or I got
you
like
said
cat
the
like a
over is what now?
73.5.
What was it going into the game?
No
It
idea.
was similar to that. It was 72, I think. Let's see. These are one of the games that like is like the over was obvious, and so I was afraid of it.
It's too good to be true.
But well, yeah, it's like anytime it was just like I don't know, like last week, the Colorado Oregon spread. It was so high. It was like almost a foregone conclusion that Oregon was going to cover.
Right.
I'm trying to see what it was pregame. Not a lot of rushing yards in this game. But no, Colorado. What do you do here? As the Joe, as our Joe commentary, you got 2 minutes and 49 seconds left. If you turn the ball over or go 3 and out here, the game's pretty much over. You might be able to weather the storm at 34-7.
Well,
34-14
I believe they get the
is
ball
a
back,
doable
right?
game. Do
Don't they get the ball back?
they do. They do. So really, if you can
You
get
got to
a
score
touchdown
here.
you could, I mean, oh my God, that coach just tried to talk trash for getting run into. Get out of the way. Be an athlete. If you can score here and you get the ball back at half, I mean, this isn't necessarily as out of hand as you think. And Colorado can score points and they can score them quick. So, what are we doing? Ow! Gosh, that
Oh no.
No, he's fine.
Oh, okay. He just grabbed his leg so fast. It looked like it was like his quad he was grabbing more than anything.
Look how fast Sean calling he's like
I know.
doing the
I'm surprised
Vogue out
he doesn't have
there.
the tarps behind him like some of the SEC programs, They put the things so
Yeah,
no one can see him, or they're
Sean doesn't
highlighting
care.
more. Well, he's so tall. I think it's like if you can't see me, then
Yeah, I know you can't see over me. He is so tall.
Colorado's
I remember
still
thinking that last time I saw him was at I think North Central's mega camp, and we were talking for a while, and I was like, "Why am I looking up to you? You're younger than me. It's not supposed to work like that."
Yeah.
But no, he's a big dude.
So the clock obviously stops here, like because we're in college.
So
Colorado
still
got 3
only within
timeouts.
2 minutes. Yeah.
So are they just trying to see how fast they could score, and then maybe just call timeout for SC? I mean, like what? Because I mean,
clock stops on a first down. Yeah. So so this is different because you're trying to score before the half. So these are the offense's timeouts. But as my philosophy is the timeouts belong to the defense.
So now it's
because
running,
you can so you got to call it there because they have to score. They have to score here. It's not one of those situations where they really, now that they moved the ball this far, they have to score. And at least they're not going to do a quick 3 and out and allow USC to score in theory. But the reason I like the defense, you can steal a possession. So if the defense has 3 timeouts, you make 3 stops, you get the ball back. Right. And if you're down by 8 points, you're always in the game. Offensive coordinators like to call a timeout sometimes so they don't get a procedure penalty that can cost you a game. When it's like 3rd and 16, they're going to call a timeout to stop it from being 3rd and 21. And then at the end of the game, if you had that timeout, you could have stopped it, gotten the ball back, and given yourself a chance. You got to think long term. They're the defense's timeouts unless it's a situation like this. But I'm also a defensive-minded guy, and I'm not a big fan of offenses. Okay. Slide. No one to hold them. But not. Did he ever go down?
I mean, he got up like he got down too, so he must have
Look how wide those
splits
are.
All right.
They're
right there.
Okay, Colorado sub. They're gonna have a chance here. Yeah. Colorado did sub.
So I saw him up top. I think it was 87 sub. So if I was SC, wouldn't you want to be screaming into the headset sub? So then you're taking time out of the clock on defense because they have to wait for you to sub, right? Technically.
Yeah, but so like USC's coaches, like if it was it I didn't see it. Was it receiver for receiver? It just like right off the sideline.
Yeah, it was pretty fast.
So the refs probably didn't even notice it. USC probably didn't even notice it. It's the same personnel grouping. So like really that's on the USC staff to be like, they stand over the ball.
So last week I think it was the Ravens. We'll go NFL take here. It was Ravens versus the Colts. The Colts came out in a field goal, and then at like about 20 seconds they just do like this crazy switch of personnel and they bring the offense back out. And what does Harbaugh do? He tells his D lineman, jog slow. And you just see this guy just like slowly jogging on the field. And
there's nothing more than a defensive lineman likes to do than jog slow.
So when he gets out there, it's about 3 seconds. And then the refs go, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, penalty, delay game, they have to move the ball back. And it was everything. And like, you just saw like everyone's high-fiving, like Harbaugh, like all fired up. But it's like in that situation, I mean, maybe I just saw it differently. But it was like, if I was SC's coaches, everyone should be screaming like they sub, get someone out there.
No, they should be. They should be, but they probably didn't notice because, like you said, it was just a quick switch off. All right, so somebody did just get the link. He was like, sorry, I just got the link. It must be halftime there.
Yes, you and I are behind by like probably about 30 seconds. So it's about right.
Oh, we might have multiple guests then. All right. So let me see if I'm gonna call him right now. This is a different. We got a different guest. Big dog, are you inside? Okay. Do you got service? Oh, sweet. You want to tap in? All right. Cool. So they're inside for halftime. He's gonna hop in right now. This is going to be Christopher Burgess.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, 4-star D lineman out of Chicago. Oh, he's calling me back. Maybe he's not able to. Oh, he's in the meeting rooms.
Oh,
what up, man? Is it working? Yeah. So we're behind. Can you tell me, did Colorado score before half? They did? Oh, hey, I got a surprise, Corey.
Oh, I heard.
You can hear this? Okay. All right. So click the link and tap in. All right. You could hear our conversation?
I just heard your reaction.
Okay. Let's see how they do it though. Oh no! And that's what you hate on defense. Everything's covered up. Athletic quarterback, the ultimate equalizer. Nothing you can do about that. Colorado scores. That is huge. They get the ball back at halftime. Could legit have. Wow. That's crazy. It could be a 13-point game.
Quick, fast take here. You know, you're an NFL coach or NFL GM. Shedeur comes out. Where are you taking him? Where are you slotting him in the draft?
I don't know enough about that. Okay, hold up.
I want to do a quick take, man. Quick.
Let's go. How do you get to the 3?
I got it. Here we go.
Big dog. What's going on, man?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Good. Tell me about the game day so far.
It's going good for the most part.
It's going.
Not really what I expected from Colorado.
Yeah.
It's not like what I really expected, but like the game going good though.
Yeah. What? Tell me about the atmosphere. What has the day been like so far? Chris. For those who don't know, this is Christopher Burgess, big-time defensive lineman out of Chicago, representing the Shy. But yeah, tell me about the overall atmosphere and everything.
It's perfect. The fans perfect. The atmosphere, the weather, everything going good. It's perfect over there.
Yeah, is there a feeling in the stadium after that touchdown that Colorado's right in this? Are the fans staying in the game, and is it staying lit?
Yeah, most definitely. I think Colorado is still in the game right now. The game not over yet.
Sure.
It's just halftime. It's not over yet. But yeah,
No
the
doubt.
fans think the Colorado still in the game.
Hey, Christopher, tell me, just tell me about what the day's been like, what your schedule is like, what it was like being on the pregame with all the celebrities. Did you meet any celebrities today?
I met the baby. Who else I met? I said something to Dion. He said, "What's up?" That's all I met right now. But I plan on meeting some more at the game.
Yeah. So tell me about this. As a recruit, right? And you go and you've got celebrities there. Like, does that make an impact on you? Or you're like, this is cool. I want to be around this. This could be my everyday life. Like, does that help in recruiting?
Yeah, most definitely, because I believe I'm gonna be like one of them one day.
That is
so,
awesome.
Yeah, that really impact my recruiting.
Okay. Well, hey, you're hearing it directly from one of the top recruits in the nation. The celeb factor does play in. How about the grub? What did you eat pregame meal? We're losing signal.
The eggs, all that.
Oh, we lost you for a second. Yeah, it sounds like you're eating good. And then tell me about just being on the field pregame. What was the overall atmosphere like? What has stood out most about your visit so far?
No, I think we might be lost.
Yeah, we might have lost you. Hey, Chris, I'll text you. But I appreciate you coming on, man, and enjoy the rest of your trip.
There we go.
All right. I'm gonna let him know that we lost.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna kick him just so I don't want him to.
Cool.
I just text him that we just removed because of the Wi-Fi. Like, appreciate it. I don't want him to feel like we just like see ya. No, that was awesome. That's great. He's a great kid. He is a monster.
Yeah.
He's a massive, massive human. Like, people don't. That's what most everyday fans like. Just like family members of like on you and I's side, like, they don't understand how big these kids are. And it's like, I mean, I played high school football. He played obviously up to the D1 level, and it's crazy how.
Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Oh, he wants back in.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now we got started. What was that?
Yeah, the connection bad out here. The service is bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, we got you right there. If you stand right there, I think we're good.
Hey, Chris, I gotta ask, what happened to the wrist? Is that a cast?
Yeah, I had broke my wrist in a game a couple weeks ago. But I'm gonna be back this week for the club.
I was gonna say, you gonna put the bubble wrap on it or what?
You said what?
You gonna put the bubble wrap and like got the club?
Yeah, I'm gonna do all that.
That's scary. I don't think I want to face you with that thing.
And it's my homecoming week, so I gotta play.
Oh, it is? There you go.
Yeah, this is my
homecoming. Who do you guys have?
We got Phillips.
Oh, okay. How is Phillips this year?
They good. I think they lost like 2 games, 1 game this year.
Okay.
I think they lost to more.
Oh, did they? All right.
Yeah.
Did the Slim Reaper get him?
Who? Chris?
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Are you talking about Chris Durr?
Yeah. Chris Durr.
Wyoming committed now, right?
Reaper. Yeah, he committed to Wyoming. Hey, Chris, we'll let you go after this, but just tell me the number one thing that has stood out on this visit so far. What has made the biggest impression on you?
The relationships I got with the coaches. Like how I feel about the coaches, like how the coaches feel about me, like my overall relationship with all like the staff, like everybody associated with Colorado.
For sure. Yeah, it seems like a star-studded event. I can't wait to hear about who else you meet after the game. But let's connect because I want to do a recruiting update on you. So hit me up after the game when you're free or traveling, and we'll either get you on video or we'll get you for an interview and get something written up. All right, buddy?
All right, bet. That sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, safe travels, and we'll talk soon.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Later.
Yeah.
All right. Let's we're gonna do one more.
All
right. Okay. And then I'm gonna actually try to head over and watch Amarion Stewart and a couple other guys play. Marquise Lightfoot. They're playing like right down the street. Right. The game's going right now. Or it starts at 1:30.
Perfect. Yeah, I got time for a little more.
Yeah, if we can get one more guy on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not falling for it this time. Okay. Was just able on inside.
I mean, you just want to see if
I just want to see if Nick can get on. No, Talon's he's a little upset about last night's game.
Fair enough.
Did you post that punt return?
Not yet. I gotta size it down a little bit for Instagram, but I'll post it.
Oh, you know what? I can send you the original. I actually altered that, so I'll send that over. If Nick doesn't get back to us in a second, we'll call it a day.
Cool.
And then I'll go over to let me text his mom real quick. All right.
Are Saturday games pretty popular in your region?
Not really, except for Chicago Public League schools. A lot of them, they have to use the same fields and stuff. So like Lane Tech is where this game is at, and their stadium is awesome. It's been used in like movies and stuff. They it's only a couple. It's like I don't know. It's like 15. It'll take me 15 minutes to get there. But so like there's just so many schools and not as many stadiums. So a lot of schools share stadiums, and Lane Tech has to share their own stadium. So they kind of list schedule and they work it out. So like maybe it was time for Kenwood to play a Saturday game, and and then somebody else played at Lane Tech last night. They'll start some of the City League games on like Wednesday or Thursday if they need to, just because of the lack of like stadiums. There's tons of fields, but not that can hold a crowd. So I'm gonna give Nick. We'll give him 2 minutes. He might not be able to talk right now, but I'm happy we could get Chris on. If not, that was fun having him come on. I think we'll get a whole roster of guys. We just got to figure out a way to to make it so they have signal. We got to figure that out. We got to find out what stadiums have Wi-Fi. That will be our pick of the week. All right. So predictions for the second half while we wait for Nick, and if he doesn't come, we'll wrap it up, man. But what are your thoughts? What are the Joe's thoughts?
I mean, it all depends on that first drive, honestly, for Colorado. If SC can get them out early and score, it's over. It's going to be a blowout. Colorado will chip away. They'll do their things. Their offense actually looks a lot more explosive than I actually gave them credit for. But I think it's gonna finish a pretty high scoring game. But I think SC is still going to cover no problem. I think Caleb is kind of throwing out will. It's just, can Colorado keep the pace of SC's offense, and maybe Colorado can get lucky on a couple of defensive plays. But Colorado's definitely proven me wrong with some things. I think the score does not reflect of how Colorado's been playing, but it's still, technically
Colorado
covering a little bit.
Colorado's played their worst game possible, and they're still in it. They have a block.
Yeah. Well, I think
a missed field goal and an interception within like the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
That's the difference in the score right there, really, swing wise. They get the ball second half. That first drive is huge. But But like talking to Chris, he said the crowd's still in the game. He's like, this ain't over. And I don't think that was coach speak from Chris either, because Chris is going to tell you exactly what he thinks.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too,
and,
like, I mean, there's a lot of drives that you said that's like if you're on the coaching staff, you're like, that's okay. We didn't score there. We saw a lot. We liked what we saw. So that's what I'm saying. With like
Yeah.
the score doesn't reflect the way the game is. Like, yeah, like SC has been in control the whole time, but Colorado with the 14, like you said, with the field goals, and they had a lot of good long drives. Or, I mean, obviously they had a couple quick 3-and-outs and an interception, but
yeah.
there's been more to this game than what the score is showing. Absolutely.
I agree. I do think it's going to be hard for Colorado to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled it off. You know, I'm not betting on it to happen, but I think the first drive is huge. You know, Sean, I think, did get a play ahead of them there. You know, obviously
absolutely.
USC has a lot of talent on defense, but you know they're going to find schematic mismatches. I know Coach Brew's in there getting them fired up. He's saying right now, get your daggum chili hot, boys. Let's go out there. Brew is epic for halftime speeches. It was like the Super Bowl every week. So I coached for Tim Brewster, the tight ends, maybe the associate head coach too, at Colorado. He was the head coach when I was at Minnesota. Awesome guy to coach for. Yeah, he's a wild one. You know, he's like, we got this. He's going nuts in the locker room right now. I don't know if you saw the skit where he's like, stand up, sit down, where the kid was. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So
you're crushing him.
That's him doing Brewster, because when he first got there, he's like, stand up. Yeah, you got to see the original. Brew came on my podcast when he first got there. I was kind of looking at
remember that
old podcasts. Yeah, but like Colorado fans, they are like loving it. Like anything Colorado. Brew came on, I was like 30,000 views, and he's not like the coordinator, head coach. Like people want to watch Colorado. They want to follow Prime. They want to. I mean, talking to Chris. Oh, I was like, you know, who have you talked? Talking with the baby before the game. Dion said, "What's up?" Like, I mean, like, this is a different world now. It's a new age.
Amber brings energy, which is what the fans are looking for. So it's a guy that's passionate and a little rah and all that good stuff. But like, he brings the energy that the fans were trying to match, you know. And it's fun. I remember that podcast. You guys were funny together. A lot of energy in that podcast.
Yeah, well, it's the two loudest guys in the room always, and he was my former boss, so it's like interviewing your boss.
Yeah, it was easy. It was fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great family. Shout out to the Brewsters. All right, Nick doesn't have signal, so
that's all right.
We're gonna wrap this up, but that was fun, man. Another game day. Yeah. Let's do it again. Let's see what the slate looks like next week.
Absolutely. All right. Stay tuned. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Turn on notifications so you don't miss another game day with Corey and Clint and more of our special guests. So,
yeah, thanks, appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I love the special guests. We're going to do more of that.
All right.
Thank you,
Take
Corey.
care,
all right, buddy.